We've all seen social media posts of beautiful chicken breasts stuffed with oozing cheese. And while they look great on camera, is making them worth the aggravation? Chef Paul has the scoop in our daily dish. Here is what you'll need for his spin on chicken and cheese. You need some liquid honey, garlic, Dijon, thyme, chicken breasts, asparagus, onion, and sliced raclette cheese. I love raclette. All right, Paul, tell us, how do you really feel about stuffed chicken?
So, Tracy, I love the idea of stuffed chicken breast, that surprise and delight moment. But as a recipe developer, I'm always thinking, is this a recipe that the home cook is going to want to make? Is this something that is going to result in a good finished product, or something that's going to have them, pulling their hair out, ending in tears, and worse, ending in wasted food?
Oh, we do not want that. So you say there are pros and cons to consider. What do we need to think about?
Okay, so pro, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Potentially, in theory. Con, it is messy. The inside could even contain foodborne illness if it doesn't come up to the right temperature, which is always a concern with stuffed meat. And biggest con of all is if that cheese is coming out of that chicken breast and falling into your grill, it's just such a shame.
So bottom line, leave the stuffed chicken for the oven, is basically what you're saying. So you've got a great recipe with the same elements, but created for the barbecue. So where do we start?
Right, so my theory is take all those ingredients that you were gonna stuff it with and treat them separately and bring them together on the plate. That way you're not worrying about any waste. So it starts with the chicken and a marinade. This is kind of an all-purpose marinade for grilled chicken. It's just a little bit of olive oil, some honey, which some kind of sweetener is always good when you're making a marinade for grilled meat. It helps with that caramelization, helps get to those grill marks you want. Some minced garlic, just a little bit. See, these are all familiar ingredients. Some Dijon mustard, that goes right in. Some sea salt. And lots of chopped thyme. So, as you can see, these are all classic flavors, things that are crowd pleasers, I would call them. So mix that up. Doesn't have to be totally combined. And right into there, some chicken breasts. I've taken chicken breasts and I've pounded them just lightly. Again, whenever you're cooking chicken breasts whole, it's a good idea to pound them to a uniform thickness. That way they will cook evenly. And just give those a toss. Make sure they are fully coated and into the fridge for at least 30 minutes, an hour, overnight if you want, so you can totally make this ahead. And I have some here that I have made few hours ago. You can see it's just solidified a little around the edge and now straight to a hot grill. So I'm going to take these onto my greased preheated grill, lay those down, and I also have some Vidalia onions here that I've just sliced into rounds, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to add those on as well. These will take approximately the same amount of time as the chicken. And you don't want to fuss with these too much. You can use a grill basket if you're worried about them falling through. I like to go a little bit on the wild side, so straight onto the grill. And now just close it up and let those go.
Okay, so while the chicken is being cooked, the onions are being grilled as well. You've got asparagus there. So what are we doing with that?
Right, so I've got some local asparagus here, a little bit of olive oil as well, and some sea salt. And after you've given your chicken and your onions a head start, you're going to lay these on as well. Again, if you want to use a grill basket, you can, but you don't really have to. I like to just lay them on across the grills like this, and then every couple of minutes, we're just going to give them a little roll. You don't have to use your hand, of course. You can use tongs, but I'm so used to, I don't have any nerve endings left. So you just want to give those a roll so that they end up cooking evenly. And the chicken will come off and rest.
Okay, so you are ahead of the game. You've got your chicken ready to go. I'm interested to see how you are doing the cheese, because there is cheese in this recipe, right?
Oh, there's cheese in this recipe. This is my favorite part of this recipe because you don't want to waste cheese. Cheese is such an amazing ingredient. So we're going to pick a melting cheese. I've got some raclette here. So speaking of social media, we've all seen those wonderful social media videos of the raclette being poured over potatoes or meat or vegetables. So I got some raclette here, and I'm just going to throw it into a pan that I'm heating on the grill. And it depends on how hot your pan is, but you just want it to melt. Also, this is optional, but I like a little bit of bread with melted cheese, so I've got some bread. I've just added a little olive oil as well, a little bit of salt on the outside, and now we're just going to give that a grill. And like I said, this is all going to come together on the plate. You can see the cheese is already melting.
Yeah,
Just
it
get
doesn't take
yourself
very
a
long.
spatula. Not long at all. Get yourself a spatula. Make sure it gets close to the edge of the pan. And now let's plate it up. So, onto my plate here, I've got some of my beautiful grilled asparagus, whole, beautifully grilled chicken breast, some of these charred onions right along the side. So you know there's going to be big flavor here. A nice piece of grilled bread. And check this out.
It's cheese time.
The cheese is going to just envelop that chicken breast, and you're going to have big flavor, no mess, no waste, and kind of a wow moment at the table. I don't know, this something about this is just easier.
Yeah.
It's more responsible. It's just good cooking.
It's good cooking, it's easy, it's clean, and it's going to taste as good as it would if the cheese were inside. So I love this idea.
That's right.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, may we never put the cheese inside the chicken again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chef. A reminder, all the recipes you see on CityLine can be found at cityline.tv. That is a good one.